My pet T-Rex. It started as a typical Wednesday. School had dragged on, the sun had beaten down on the asphalt, and I had trudged home with my backpack sagging and my spirits low. But everything changed the moment I opened the front door and found Dad sitting on the couch, a grin plastered across his face, and a dinosaur egg the size of a beach ball in his lap. "Surprise, Tommy," he announced, holding the egg up as if it were a trophy. "What is that?" I managed to stammer, dropping my backpack to the floor. "It's a Tyrannosaurus Rex egg. Found it on one of my digs. Isn't it amazing?" Dad was a paleontologist, always off on some adventure to unearth the secrets of the past. But this was something else. 2 days later, the egg hatched. Out popped the cutest, most terrifying creature I'd ever seen, a baby T-Rex with wide, curious eyes and tiny, yet sharp teeth. I named him Rex, naturally. Raising a T-Rex in a suburban neighborhood isn't exactly covered in parenting books or pet manuals. Rex grew fast, way faster than a puppy or kitten. By the end of the first week, he was already the size of a German Shepherd, and by the end of the month, he was almost as tall as me. Mom was skeptical at first, but Rex won her over by nuzzling her hand with his scaly head and making an almost purring sound. Dad set up a special enclosure in the backyard, reinforced with steel beams and triple-layered fencing, but it wasn't long before Rex started needing more space. Taking Rex for walks was an adventure. The neighbors had gotten used to the sight of us by now, though there were a few close calls, like the time Mrs. Henderson's poodle got loose and tried to challenge Rex. Luckily, Rex was more curious than hungry that day. As months passed, Rex and I became inseparable. We'd explore the nearby woods, him stomping around with a delighted growl, me on my bike trying to keep up. He was like a prehistoric watchdog, scaring off any would-be bullies with a single snarl. But the real trouble started when the local news got wind of our unusual pet. Soon, our quiet street was swarmed with reporters, scientists, and curious onlookers. The city council got involved, and before we knew it, we were in the middle of a media frenzy. "Tommy, we need to talk," Dad said one night, his face serious. "Rex can't stay here. He's growing too big, too fast. We need to find a better place for him." I knew he was right, but the thought of losing Rex was unbearable. The next day, we loaded Rex into a specially designed trailer and drove out to a remote wildlife reserve that had agreed to take him in. The trip was long and silent, tears streaming down my face as I sat beside my best friend for what felt like the last time. When we arrived, the reserve was perfect, a vast, open space with plenty of room for Rex to roam and thrive. The staff promised to take good care of him, but it didn't make saying goodbye any easier. As we released Rex into his new home, he turned to look at me one last time, letting out a low, mournful growl. I hugged him as best as I could around his massive neck, whispering promises to visit as often as I could. Driving away was the hardest thing I'd ever done, but knowing that Rex was safe and happy helped a little. Life without Rex was quieter, emptier, but every time I looked out at the backyard, I'd remember our adventures and the bond we shared. Years later, Rex became a legend in our town, a real-life dinosaur in the 21st century. And though he wasn't by my side anymore, he was always in my heart, my pet T-Rex who had turned an ordinary life into something extraordinary. There are thousands of great videos like this on the channel. Please take a look, please share and subscribe.